Hello and welcome to the United Stand. Gareth Bale wants a move to Manchester United. Is this latest news? I touched on it on the video last night and really wanted to set a video aside for it to do a little bit of research. Also, there is a poll in the top right hand corner. Would you take Bale at United? Yes or no? Interested to see what that is, and we'll touch on it in the watch along later on for the Leicester game. But it's such a complex thing that I did want to take a bit of time to think through it, because my initial reaction in relation to Gareth Bale is he's 29 years of age in July. 29. He's very injury prone. Wales are not going to the World Cup because he wasn't fit. I mean, that's the ultimate, isn't it? You know, you can't rely on Bale. He's been out a lot this season for Real Madrid. He is playing in El Clasico, or will have played, depending on when you are watching this video. Whether he makes the starting team or not is a different matter. I will be doing a watch along on That's Football for El Clasico. The link is in the video description from midday. Do join me for that, because it'll be a bit of a scouting mission, but also a great game as well. But on the people saying, is this true? Bored of this Bale stuff. Look, we've been linked to Gareth Bale pretty much since he was born. It feels like it. But obviously, Gareth Bale, Real Madrid, they get bored of their toys, they sell their toys, and Manchester United, he's British, he will probably want to come back to the Premier League. Manchester United is an option. I don't think Pep Guardiola would want him, so United would probably be #1 choice. Whether United would want him, there's so many factors, it's so complex. I'm trying to work to an answer here, and I think many people are saying injury prone in Spain. Imagine in the Premier League, says James Arthur. Is he currently injured? Luke is back today. And Kieran Burns says Bale's another injury-prone mercenary. There's definitely a lot of anti-Bale feeling amongst Manchester United fans. And I think it's for numerous reasons, really. It could be just because you don't want him. It could be because he's injury-prone. It could be because of his age. It could be because he symbolises the sort of player maybe we shouldn't be buying anymore. The player that's had their career at their peak, and now they're, would Bale leave Real Madrid if he was still scoring 60 goals a season and everybody loved him? No. That's the cold, harsh truth. He wouldn't. He's leaving Real Madrid, or supposedly leaving Real Madrid, because they don't want him anymore. So he's got to look for other options. And are we happy to still be second in line for Real Madrid? I think reality, harsh reality, is that when it comes to football, Real Madrid are double Champions League winners. Manchester United have only qualified for the Champions League twice in the last 4 years. So Real Madrid, of course, are better than Manchester United on the pitch at the moment. And a player of Gareth Bale at his best, fit, is still one of the best top 5 players in the world. And of course, Manchester United would benefit from that, because United have got no creativity down the flanks, no real flair, top class, world class. We're talking world class player in those final third positions. So Bale for Manchester United at his best would enhance us from where we are now. And where we are now is second comfortably. So there's that. If Bale signed for Manchester United, I've got to be totally honest and say I'd be very excited. I can't help that. I'm a football fan. He's one of the best footballers in the world. I'd be excited. I'd also be really, really realistic. And that realism is that he spends a lot of his current career injured. He spends a lot of his current career injured. He is 29 in the summer, and surely those injuries are only going to get worse. What are we going to pay Real Madrid for him? Manchester United apparently would not want to pay any more than £50 million. £50 million in the modern day for Gareth Bale at 29 or 28 and a half or whatever is probably a good deal. The problem is, if he signed a contract for 4 years and he played 50% of those games at 50 million, it's probably still a cheap deal. But I feel, I don't know what you think, that the problem with it is we don't need Gareth Bale for half the games of a season. We need somebody to play every game. We've seen that with Pogba. What if he signed Bale and then Pogba and Bale miss half the season or 3/4 of the season or whatever? You need your best player. Manchester United haven't got the luxury, like Real Madrid haven't even had that luxury with Bale being out. We haven't got the luxury of buying a player like that and then putting up with him being fit for half the games of the season. We almost need a player. If Gareth Bale's 5 out of 5, we'd be better off signing a 3.5 out of 5 player who can actually play all the games. And I think that's the concern with Gareth Bale. Are Manchester United in for Gareth Bale? I would say 100%. And I base this totally on we need a captain that motivates. Opinion, says Luke Johnston. Well, yeah, we do need leaders on the pitch. I want to talk about this Pogba sleeping in thing. I've got a theory on that in a minute. But finishing off around Bale, I think based on what I know about Mourinho and probably what a lot of you know about Mourinho, and there's quite a lot of previous career and mentality and form for looking at Mourinho and what he likes. If you think you want Pulisic, like I was talking about yesterday, and I would like Pulisic from Dortmund, 19, going to be a superstar, or you want Gareth Bale, 28 and a half, injured quite a lot, I go Pulisic every time. I would suspect Mourinho will go Bale every time because Mourinho will always go experience over youth when he can. Gareth Bale's 6'1", Pulisic is 5'8", but most of all, it's that experience. Mourinho prefers ready now experience, and Bale, when he's fit, you chuck him into a team, he's one of the best players in the world. You chuck, I think that's a great comment by Tyrone, I'm going to come back to that. You chuck Pulisic in there, he can be better than Bale, but he's still a work in progress. So why does Gareth Bale want the move? Because Real Madrid don't want him anymore. Did Gareth Bale snub us in the past? Many believe he did. Do we hold that against him as a possibility to come to United? I mean, there's always the flip side of the coin. If Bale leaves Real Madrid, which many people think he will, what if he went to Spurs? Or what if he went to Chelsea and ripped the league up? And then we were like, well, why didn't we get him? I think you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. But the injury concerns are real. And is he the sort of player that we want at Manchester United? As I said, top right-hand corner. Pol. Cast your Pol. Tyrone Williams says Heath Chong is 18 and has all the talent to be as good or better than Bale. I totally agree. I'm a massive fan. Chong actually excites me more than Angel Gomez. Angel Gomez is a fantastic talent and I'm so happy that he signed that contract. Obviously he's English, plays for the England under-17s who are the world champions. But Chong excites me more, like Martial excites me more than Pogba. It's that same thing. Both fantastic players, but I prefer wide flair players, and Chong is one of those, and he excites me more than Gomez, and I think he's got a great future. Hopefully, fingers crossed, he had a bad knee injury, but he's back playing now, and hopefully he doesn't have any recurrences, because for young players, that can be the thing that destroys your career. Terry Cook. Matthew McFadden says Gareth Bale is world class. Gareth Bale is a world class Phil Jones. If he was more consistent with his playing time, then I'd take him. But he's too injury prone for my liking. Thanks for the contribution, Matthew. And I think you're probably around that, pretty much spot on with that. Very quickly, just want to talk about this Paul Pogba thing. Look, I think the press. I mean, we saw it last night. Liverpool, Arsenal. Lots and lots of people saying, oh, you know, Liverpool and Arsenal attack much better than Manchester United. You've got to admit it, Mark. I'm getting this all over Twitter. And all I came back with was, they may attack quicker than us, but their defence is about as useful as catching a bowling ball with a poppadom. It just tears through it. Absolutely terrible defensively. United have got a good defence. We've got a very good attack. We've scored a lot of goals this season. I think we'll beat Leicester tonight. I'm going 3-1. I said Liverpool and Arsenal would be a score draw. I'm not jealous of Liverpool or Arsenal. There's probably one or two players I'd take from each team, but I'm not jealous of them. We've got the better defence and we're going places. We're comfortably second. They are now. If we beat Leicester tonight, I think we're double figures, more or less, ahead of both of them. I think we're 10 points ahead of Arsenal. Something like that anyway. But it's done and dusted, isn't it? And that's by Christmas time. And both those clubs are going to be nearly 20 points. I think actually Arsenal will be 20 points off Manchester City when Man City beat Bournemouth later. So I don't buy into that at all. I think there's an agenda against our club, and I think everybody knows about that. And it started it's always been there, but it's really intensified with Mourinho coming to the club. Klopp last night with the bottle, same sort of incident to what Mourinho did when he kicked it. Nothing. He's just, you know, he's just a passion monster, isn't he, Klopp? So he just gets away with it. Disgusting, bias, almost bullying the way Mourinho gets treated over Klopp, who swears at referees and encroaches out of his technical area. But we know that, But what I wanted to talk about is this story this morning. I think it was in the Daily Mail about Manchester United having to send their staff to wake Paul Pogba up because he missed training. Now, actually, when you get the full detail, he didn't miss training. He missed a warm down the morning after Manchester United beat Arsenal. Now, obviously, Pogba had been sent off in that game, so you don't know where he's head at. But did he miss training? It's it's unquantified sources, a club source. Now, we had this last season a little bit with Mourinho. They weren't, but we had it a lot with Van Gaal. Player revolt with the training, this, that, and the other. And this is when the press are trying to undermine our manager. I think we've got to be very, very wise to it. The only people that matter in relation to Manchester United and Mourinho is the board, because they will sack him or keep him. But the second people who matter, and I think we matter the most, are the fans. It's very important that you do keep on side with Mourinho until the end of the season at least. We're second in the league, we are progressing, and the foundations are being built from being destroyed by Moyes and Van Gaal. What the press are trying to do is they're trying to make an issue, because Manchester United sell papers. Manchester United are the biggest club in the world, and the press live off Manchester United. If Manchester United didn't exist, a lot of papers, a lot of media outlets would go out of business. They've got to make a story out of Manchester United, and nothing sells better than drama. You know, EastEnders this Christmas, you know, it ain't going to be Mick and Sheila or whatever. I think they're mum and dad, aren't they? But whatever his wife's called, I don't watch it. It's not going to be them having a little kiss and a nice Christmas dinner's going to go lovely. I guarantee the turkey will probably come alive and kill someone or something like that, because drama sells, and drama sells in football, and Manchester United are the biggest top of the tree story you can sell. So Paul Pogba misses training from unsourced source at the club. That's brilliant. That's brilliant, and it undermines the manager, and it makes there be an issue at Manchester United, when the reality is there isn't an issue at Manchester United. Manchester City are top, they're going to win the league, but Manchester United are comfortably second and comfortably progressed from last season. The improvement from last year in points, playing, is unimaginable. We are much better than we were last year, with Mourinho having one hand behind his back, not getting the players he wanted in the summer. I said on August the 31st that Mourinho had a ready-made excuse, and he's got it. He didn't get the players he wanted, so no matter what, he's got that ready-made excuse. So don't fall into the press plan. Manchester United sell papers, websites, whatever, and they will try and build a drama around our club. Don't buy into that drama. You know, I think the biggest thing, I was talking to Draughty about this last night. I hope he gets well soon if he is watching, because he's been ill. We were talking about the domination of Manchester City, and I said, look, Manchester City should be top of the league. 100% they deserve to be top of the league, but there are mitigating circumstances, and the 11-point gap, whilst it's factual and you have to accept it, isn't really reflective of how far we are behind Manchester City. They should be top. I'd say they should be top by about 4, maybe 5 points, but they've had some luck in some games, as I've discussed before, and we haven't had any luck. Every result we've got, we've deserved. So they've had that. They've obviously had the open checkbook, which Mourinho didn't get. So Pep's got everything he wanted in the summer. Mourinho didn't. You know, obviously that's got to be worth a few points as well, hasn't it? And then third of all, we've not had our best player for 50% of our Premier League games. That is the most factual thing I could ever say. We've not had Pogba for 50% of our Premier League games, whereas Man City have pretty much had De Bruyne every single game. So, you know, they're mitigating circumstances. City deserve to be top. We probably deserve to be a little bit closer to them. The title probably doesn't deserve to be over now, but it is. But United have made progress, and I think people are trying to build something out of nothing. And just stick with us. Tonight's a massive game. Obviously, if we lost tonight, then I think things would go against us as well. Hazard to United, says Kandu Kata. I'll tell you what, if Hazard joins Manchester United, I would be absolutely stunned. Rick Powell says, Giggs said United missed out on Jesus and Mbappe a few years ago. I spoke about Ryan Giggs yesterday. In relation to Ryan Giggs, can I just say this? He is not Manchester United manager's material, and him constantly coming out with how United went back on a promise, and if he was United, basically what he said is, if I was at United, after Van Gaal, I would have given continuity. I was trying to get Mbappe and Jesus. I would have kept Welbeck, Evans and Raphael. Well, straight away, look, I probably wouldn't have got rid of Welbeck, but in the grand scheme of things, we've got better forwards than Welbeck now. Raphael, really liked him, but never seemed to understand that he was reckless. He cost us a quarter-final against Bayern Munich because he picked up 2 silly yellow cards. I loved Raphael. I wouldn't have sold him, by the way. Johnny Evans, I would have sold him. Johnny Evans is available in January. If we buy him back in January, I give up. I give up. Smalling and Jones are way better than Evans. That was right to get rid of him. And also, what people forget about Ryan Giggs, and I read this today, and it's a very, very good point. Giggs was in charge for 4 games. We didn't win all those games. There was a documentary on Giggs, and he was very, 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 very bland in the dressing room. But most of all, his first game in charge, he dropped Mata and played Tom Cleverley. So, you know, everybody can sit there in, you know, in this position of comfort and with retrospect and hindsight in their pocket and say, if I was Manchester United manager, I would have done this, and I would do this, and I would do that. But you don't need to scratch the surface too much to see that Giggs got turned down by Swansea. You know, he obviously doesn't come across that well. He obviously doesn't come across that passionate, and people obviously had a concern about it. And Ed Woodward gets a lot of stick, but I think Ed Woodward was right. I think Ed Woodward was right to rip up this promise to Giggs and say, no, we've got to go with someone with a proven track record, and Mourinho for me was the right choice. I love Giggs, club legend, but he's not the right man for Manchester United. He wasn't the right man for Manchester United, and he did drop Mata for Cleverley in his first game. So We'd still be playing 4-4-2, says Mark Evans. I probably still would like that. I'd love us to play with wingers. I really would. But whether that works in the modern game, I don't know. Willian over Bale all day, says MUFC Neil Legend 7. Right, okay. There's a vote in the top right hand corner to vote whether you want Bale or not, and we'll discuss this on the watch along tonight. We're obviously live again tonight at 7 o'clock. I think it's an 8 o'clock kick off tonight, isn't it? If it's 7:45, then we'll go live at 7:15 for the team news, an hour before as per usual. Do cast your vote. Do drop a like on the video, because this we've started doing a couple of these recently, early morning ones, and if you like them, do like them, because I quite like reacting to the big stories, and I wanted to talk to you about Gareth Bale, so that's great. And also, let me just see if I can do this. It should still work. It hasn't worked, but it will. Okay, no, we don't want to see that lineup, although it probably would have been quite interesting. Let me go there, let me go there, and let me go there. Okay, link in the description for Fan League. If you've not signed up for Fan League, it is free, absolutely free. You've got literally until the first kickoff, I think, Chelsea-Arsenal. So you've got about an hour to do this. It's free through the link in the video description. Basically, all you do is you go to play, and then you just need to select your fixtures for the game. So Brighton, Watford, home win, draw or away win. You've got 13 fixtures to do it. If you get 10 out of 13, you win about 100 quid. 11 out of 13, it's about 300 quid. And 13 out of 13, I think, goes up to about 3 grand. So you've got 3 free plays through the link in the video description. Once you've got your scores in and you've done that, you will then receive an invitation. I think this is the best bit. I mean, you can win some money, but the best bit for me is go to Community tab, go to My Leagues, click your invitations, and you'll get an invitation to join the United Stand League. And then the United Stand League, as you can see, Mark Bryan's top at the moment. It's based on your average score. So if you played this week and you got 10 out of 13, there's a good chance you'll be top for Christmas. But if you've been playing a few weeks, your average will be based on what your average score is over a few weeks. Link in the video description. It's free to play. You can have a lot of fun with that, with the United Stand League. You can also win yourself a little bit of money. I'm going to do my scores actually just after I've gone off air. But as a little hint, I definitely think that's going to happen. Actually, I don't think Chelsea-Everton is a game. So you might have you might have till about 10 to 3 to play it. So get on it, link in the video description. Other than that, I am doing an El Clasico watch along. That will be live at, it's midday, isn't it? So I need to get set up. I am set up for that. So if you want to join me again, I'll be live in about 40 minutes time for the watch along for the Real Madrid game. Looking forward to that. That's on That's Football though. Link in the video description. I think it says Real Madrid versus Barcelona watch along. If you've got nothing to do over a couple of hours, I've actually got to make some dinner as well, so I'll be in and out, but I will be watching it. We'll be live. I'll see you then. Thanks everyone for watching. Drop a like. Watch along tonight. Lots going on. Got lots planned for you over Christmas. A couple of Christmas specials. One tomorrow, one on Christmas Day. Boxing Day, we've got another game. I'm sure there'll be some transfer news coming up. Loads going on. Malcolm, any news on Malcolm, says Zane Scope. He's a possibility. He's getting possibility. Chris J says he's getting tired of all the rumours. It's only just begun. It's only just begun. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on El Clasico on That's Football at midday if you're joining me. Don't forget to have a go on That's Football. Fan League. And thanks all for watching. I'll speak to you all in a bit.